Well, good day to you. I'm feeling a bit of a chill, so I'm kind of looking a little bit like a monk in the movies, at least without the hat on. I feel a little bit that way. We're going to look at a monitor stand. I bought one. It's a double stack to go with the upstairs computer, the new one. Just need that second monitor for text and, well, for the second monitor's use. And there's not room on the desk, so I did a stack. I don't really like a stack because I got a neck problem, but I think it works. And this, anyway, we looked at Amazon. That's where I get a lot of stuff. They're easy to come by. Not a side-by-side. I wanted one like this that says I purchased it in March of 2025. Has a good ratio. If you look at the number of stars, it's 77 to 3. I like to go to top to bottom on the ratio. See that I have at least 10 times as many people liking it that hate it. And there's going to be some kind of ratio in between there. And I always do look at why people hate it, that 3%. Looked like it was well reviewed. I don't know. They could be bogus, but if they did, they got 1,200 of them, and that's pretty good. Now, it does come with either way. You could either do it through a hole in a desk, or you could use the clamp. I like this clamp. It looked like it was adjustable. The unit that I have on the roaster, quite honestly, it's good. It's just a single monitor stand for that little 24. But I needed one that would adjust so I could pinch against something very, very small. And I actually even took a little piece of 1x to give it something, so I'm not just trying to squish against a single 16-gauge stainless table. So it worked out all right. Looked very, very similar. Here on this one, if you'll notice, let me show you this. I looked at this one like this. I don't like the glass footing. I don't like the foots at all, because the one downstairs that I have 3 monitors, 324s on, it tends to want to bury these into the finish of the desk, and I'm just not real thrilled with it. I did like this style having holes in it. I didn't like the fact that it was flat sideways. If it were coming like at us, that would be better, because it would be, I think, more stronger to, vertically stronger to keep from wanting to rock over. The holes are nice, that they definitely are not going to slide and migrate down toward the bottom. But the downside to that is you don't see any holes down here. And I'm really not wanting to get them, to get a monitor stand that I can't adjust all the way down again, because if I have to look down at the bottom monitor, that would be better. That would be preferable, because I can't really throw my head back and look at the top one too much. So anyway, I discounted that style. There's several of these. The one on the roaster has a little nut or something coming in the back, and I have to space it off of the wall to keep whatever it was. I can't remember specifically, but it would dig into the wall if I didn't space it off of it. So this one has something visible on this side. They look similar to the one I bought. This Vivo looks very similar to this HUANUO. I don't know. You can guess how to pronounce that. I'm not being disrespectful, but there it is. They're that kind of thing. What I don't like about this style, I do like that they're universal, that I can put it anywhere along that pole that I want. They do turn fairly easily, and if you don't get that really super tight, these little screw here really super tight, it wants to kind of walk down the pole. There's also a double knuckle here. There's one going this way and another one goes one goes this way, so that it will pivot left and right around the pole, and one that goes here so it will tilt up and down. Anyway, that's it. Appreciate it. Let's get into it. Well, look what we have here. We have a solution to the problem. We have from Amazon a generic but highly looked at, while I spent some time drinking coffee, for the best mount for my 2 monitors. The second monitor is not yet in. We haven't decided, because we're having shopping issues and trying to figure out what we want to buy. What does this look like? Well, let's turn it over. It says, look at that. I have no idea what that last line says, but anyway, it says it's got a Visa pattern. Okay, we knew that. 75 and 100. There's our telephone numbers. U.S., Canada, UK, and I assume that is Japan. All right, we've got the website right there. Give them a plug. Let's see if we got anything on that side. Well, same basic thing, some weights. It does feel quite substantial. And anyway, we're going to put this, and I hope, they're showing me it's a 2-piece. I didn't see that online. I specifically tried to get one that wasn't 2 pieces. It better be sturdy. If it's not, it's going back. I really wanted 1 piece, but of course, common sense tells you we don't have the full length in here. Well, we got the Destrucciones We have the Visa plates. I've seen something like this. I'm not sure I'm going to like it, but we're going to find out. We'll look, see if it's any counting sturdy. Here we got one mount, the other mount, and here are going to be our poles in the round box. This one right here, it's going to be our 2 poles. There we go, I'm sure. And of course, here is our magic, come on, hardware accessory box. Well, let's see how it goes. Well, I am not sure I actually needed that long of screws for that plate, but that is one hefty plate. I got to get. If you like this content, please go to calldelltosell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you. Thank you. Well, I am not sure I actually needed that long of screws for that plate, but that is one hefty plate. I got to give you credit right off the bat, whoever you are that designed this. It looks like at least the bottom monitor is going to be fairly stout. Now the way this works is we've got 3 sets of holes. They're uniform, but we only have 2 screws. And we could either set them directly. Let me see if I can see this through my eyes. Yes. There we go. We could use this one and this one. With this all the way in, I still have, about maybe 3/8, quarter inch, something like this, maybe for a desk. It's not going to get any tighter than that. But if you had something very thin, what you could do, I believe, is move it up in this position and use these 2 holes and these 2 holes for a much thinner desk, or even if you just wanted to have a little bit different leverage, you just have to have this knob backed off significantly back down this way. And if for some reason you're trying to attach it to like a 4x4, you could, I think, get all the way down to here and pretty well much have a space like that for it to mount. Now this is just a little sticky pad. Now you could put it on before you got this far, but you'd have to pull those little sticky holes out and line it up. And I just think I can get it the way it is, because if they don't quite line up, it's fine. That little sticky hole right there will just cover up my screw heads. Oh yes, I have seen these before, and sometimes if you have a heavy monitor, you can't clamp these cross bolts down hard enough to keep them in place. But the way this works is, you see, it's got the flanges on the bottom, and we'll have a little peg that we'll put up on the top to do some fine adjustments up and down, but not very much. And then the plate, you mount the Visa plate on the back of, obviously, the monitor, and then you can just set this on top of your little piece right here, you see, and you set, of course, clamp this around the pole itself. It works. Now sometimes they're a little hard to set up. See, I expect it to be very similar to this mount. They look very similar in nature, except this one is only for one monitor. You see it's got a cap in the top. Very similar bracket, little mounts right there. This one has just a little adjustment for fine adjustment up and down. You put a little turn key up there, a little hex Allen wrench, and you can crank it up or down. But yeah, it just pretty much sets right on top of it. Not a big deal, but you get the basic idea. The clamp, the foot portion of it with this one, because it's just a little stainless table, is awfully thin. So we have to make sure that we have our little adjustment set up far enough where it can clamp down actually directly tight as much as we would need it. This massive adjustment that we have, it's not bad. I did set it all the way up, so I'm using the top holes on the upper bracket and the bottom holes on the lower bracket. Well, I am not real happy with the thread engagement with the length of those screws. The little white washers don't really do anything except they're just keeping the black standoffs from twisting sideways, because this little boss, this little positive boss, out toward the plate. So we've got it on there. There may be enough thread engagement there. It's not real heavy, so we'll just see if it feels steady enough to mount. Well, there is our shot of the monitors mounted on that generic mount. And we can see, if we step to the side, I did use 2 sets of standoffs and just did, I guess, get a round or 2 of thread engagement on that. The monitor's not but 8 pounds, but you see, it doesn't get in the same plane. It doesn't get far enough forward to really be perfect, but it's not bad. It's not bad. That little foot down there clamps tightly enough, as we saw in the earlier vision of it. But yeah, I guess that's pretty good for the money. Don't regret it. I'd buy it again if I needed one. All right, I hope that wasn't too boring. I mean, there's bound to be a very limited number of people that are looking specifically for a double stack Amazon at a reasonable time that this video is being produced. If you don't mind, it does help me get the channel to be seen if you'll hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you see when I post a video. I'm kind of on a spate of these while I'm in this project. Second half of 2025 may not be as many, so you want to catch them. If my presentation means anything to you and you like it, hit the notification bell. If you don't, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I understand. I've been rejected a lot of times in my life. One more is not going to kill me. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.